London's iconic Millennium Bridge that spans the Thames between the Tate Modern and St Paul's is a favourite among walkers, photographers and Instagrammers. But the 2-decade-old pedestrian bridge is going to have to shut down for a while as engineers address an issue with the footpath, as Paul Monahan, the Assistant Director of Engineering at the City Bridge Foundation, explains.
The issue we have is there's a membrane that separates the aluminium deck from the main steel structure. That forms a number of functions, mainly for bimetallic corrosion, but also vibration, noise, etc. That has degraded somewhat and come out in a couple of places.
The Millennium Bridge is no stranger to closing down for fixes and modifications. It had to shut just 2 days after it opened in the year 2000 because of unexpected wobbling, causing it to receive the nickname the Wobbly Bridge. The issue this time is much smaller in scale.
Is this a unique problem to this bridge, and is it a bit of a design flaw?
So bimetallic corrosion has been well known by the industry for a number of years, so that is not unique to this bridge. How this bridge deck is fixed to the structure is unique in the way it's clamped down, and that membrane is the reason we're going to do this is find out what's caused that, but the failure of that is the issue that's at hand. I wouldn't say it was a design flaw.
When two different metals come into contact with one another, they can cause a reaction, which means they both begin to corrode. A tough insulating layer that's supposed to separate the two different metals has begun to degrade, and it's this that needs replacing.
Yes, so in a few places near to where we're standing, the gaps between the panels are slightly bigger. That shows they've moved slightly. And also when you look along the edge panels that are next to the lighting units, some of the deck panels, which should be flush, are slightly lower. As I say, it's not a safety hazard, it's not a trip hazard, but it's going to be a nuisance problem. And in a few places, the bolts that hold the specific centre sections, a couple of those are sticking up proud by a few millimetres as well.
This little square here that I hold in my hand, this is a very thick, very tough version of essentially what a diver's wetsuit is made out of, and this is what has to go underneath the footpath aluminium surface of this Millennium Bridge that we're standing on to insulate it from the steel superstructure below. Now it's thick, it's tough, it's essentially waterproof, and although it's red, the final product will be blue, but it won't be seen anyway. That's partly why the bridge has to be closed for 3 weeks, because you can't rip up the surface while people are walking on it, and you have to do it all in one go.
It'll take 3 weeks. We're working on this 24/7, 7 days a week, to minimise that disruption period. You have to close the bridge, and it takes so long as you have to lift every single panel up, replace the membrane, put every single panel back. And there's about 1,800 across the bridge.
The City Bridge Foundation, which is the not-for-profit organisation that owns and maintains the bridge, will be picking up the bill instead of the taxpayer.
And the quote we've got from our contractor for the moment for doing this is 175,000. So it's reasonably economic. There are difficulties in doing any works on the bridge over the river, in that we need to have abseilers to put safety nets before we even lift the panels up. You have to have safety boats, navigation controls and all sorts of things which limit the time. What I can reassure people is that the works generally aren't noisy, but we've required, and our contractors give us a commitment that any of the nighttime works won't use any power tools, so there won't be any noise at night time either.
And while you won't be able to walk across it when it closes on October the 14th, the two detours available will be the Southwark Bridge and Blackfriars Bridge on either side.